Well, hello. Welcome to my kitchen. We are going to make ourselves a very fine lunch today. And I've been noticing that there have been people who have been making these very fine dining meals, and I thought I'd try the same. So, like I said, this is going to be a very nice lunch. I'm gonna have a little bit of a precursor. You do not need a plate for this lunch that you are about to make. And yeah, all you're gonna need are just some normal lunch materials, but we are going to make it a beautiful, beautiful lunch. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is take your slice of bread and slap it on the counter like that. The next thing you're going to want to do is take a knife full of peanut butter, and you want to just gently graze the peanut butter over the bread like such. You can get more peanut butter if you need to. Now we have our peanut butter ready. You can see the way that the peanut butter sits on the bread like this, that you know you are ready for the next phase. Slap down your second piece of bread onto the counter like such, as if you were playing the winning cards of a poker game. You just want to go whatcha like that. Now here, some people want to just rinse out the knife in the sink, but let's be honest, that wastes water, and we don't want to use a different knife because we don't want to waste our knives either. So what you want to do is take your tongue and you want to lick the peanut butter off of your knife like this. That way no one else will want to use your peanut butter. Now stick that knife you just licked into the jelly jar, and we will smear the jelly onto the bread. Now we have our jelly and our peanut butter on our two pieces of bread. Now, some people like to have peanut butter on both sides of the bread and have their jelly in the middle like that. But for this particular sandwich, we are going to simply place gently, like you're laying a baby to bed, the jelly piece of bread on top of the peanut buttery bread, and there you have just part of the sandwich that we are going to make. You thought we were done this time, but we are not. We are going to continue building on top of this sandwich to make it an ultimate sandwich. Once you've already licked your knife again, take some more peanut butter and begin to spread it on top of the sandwich that we have made so far. All right, folks, we are almost done. We have our sandwich with peanut butter on top of it. Now what you want to do is take honey. I have Food Lion brand honey, but it really doesn't matter what kind of honey you use. But this is the good stuff right here. Now you wanna shake it so that you get the honey down to the center, and then you just want to gently drizzle the honey on top of the sandwich like so. You want a good bit because it's going to be mixed with jelly, so you want to be able to taste the honey with the jelly as well. Now, the last thing we need to do is take our final piece of bread and once again lay it gently over on top. So now we have our triple decker or triple breaded peanut butter, jelly, and honey and more peanut butter sandwich. Now that is a good sandwich. I hope you learned something today here with Cooking with Ben. All right, bye. Hello and welcome to Boone Youth episode 6. That sandwich was actually pretty good. If you are allergic to those items, please do not eat them. Just want to make that clear. So now that we got that out of the way, I wanted to test something out on you guys. Basically, I have a few jokes I just wanted to run by you and see what you think. What do you call a person with no body and no nose? Nobody knows. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. Did you know that the first French fries were actually not made in France? They were made in Greece. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom? Because the P is silent. If you see a robbery happen at an Apple store, does that make you an eyewitness? 5/4 of people say that they're pretty bad at fractions. You get it? 5/4 is, it's not a fraction, or it's not a right fraction. I'm pretty bad with fractions. Well, that was just good fun. Jokes are always nice at a time like this, and yeah, we are going to go ahead and get started with a little bit of worship, and I thought I would actually do something different this time. Instead of just me playing on a guitar with you guys, just watching, I actually collected the whole Crossroads worship team together, and we thought we'd show you a song. So yeah, let's get started with some worship.
Oh, there's nothing better
there's nothing more. Nothing is better than you. A huge thank you to the Crossroads worship team for being willing to put all that together and help me out in that way. I thought it was super cool. But yeah, tonight we are going to get to hear from Bethany Pryor, and she's going to share her testimony. So yeah, let's get excited to hear that. So Bethany, go ahead and take it away.
Hey guys, if you don't know me, my name is Bethany, and I will be giving my testimony today. So I wanted to start off with my favorite, passage, I guess. It's not really a passage, it's just a few verses, but it says, it's Jeremiah 29:11-13. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. So I want to start with that because what I want to talk about today is the plan that God has for you and knowing and understanding what it means. So when I've always grown up knowing the Lord. I went to Bump when I was little, and I got baptized when I was in first grade, I believe. And so I always grew up understanding that God was there. I studied the Bible. I went to Perkinsville when I was little, and I was in Bible drill, which is like a Bible study, I guess. And so I would do competitions with my understanding of the Bible. So I always understood all the stories and everything that there was, but I never really understood that it would that miracles could happen now, and that things could happen that are crazy like that now. So as I grew up, I just there was just a lot of things that I didn't know. So actually my dad is one of the biggest influences in my life. My mom and my dad, but my dad has a really cool story. So his dad passed away when my dad was 17 from cancer, and that caused my dad to drop out of college and help his mom out. But then he decided to pursue his dream of playing football. So he ended up going into the Marines, and then he got into App State for 1 year of football, and that's where he met my mom. So it showed me how a bad thing could turn into a good thing, and how God could make a horrible thing like you losing your dad into something great where you create a family. So I've always had that story in the back of my mind, but I never really understood how crazy it is that happened, and that my dad ended up finding a good job here and everything, because my dad works for Samaritan's Purse, so he's really he's spreading the word of the Lord to everyone around the world. So it's really cool to think about how God turned such a bad thing into a great thing. And so so I've understood, I've had that in the back of my head my whole life, but I really didn't understand why things would happen. I never understood why I never met my grandfather until I heard the story, of course. I never understood why some of these things happened to me, and it just was so hard for me to comprehend. So I grew up a little bit. I think I was in middle school, and I started really wanting to pursue a good relationship with God and pursue understand like who he is and what he's doing for me. But it was really hard because I didn't have a strong youth group. Like I had a couple of friends in there, but none of my close friends. So it was then that I decided, my freshman year, I decided to go to Boone Youth and to go with a bunch of my friends, because a bunch of my friends were there, and I grew with the family of, like, with Kirsten and them. So that was really good. That was something that was really huge with me. But still, going into my freshman year, I really didn't understand that God had a plan for me and that he knows what's going to happen. So I want to be an actress. That's what I've always wanted to do. And so I have this plan set in my mind where I have to go to this school. I had to go, like, I have to be on Broadway. So that was kind of like something that was really like pushing at me, like, I have to do this. But in reality, I have to do what God plans for me to do. Like, I can't come up with my own plans for my life. And so recently I've just been praying, and I've just been looking for a good understanding that God has a plan for me, and that he like knows what's going to happen, and everything that happens is going to happen for good. So I feel like that like pressure and that want inside of me has kind of faded. Like, obviously I still want to do that and I still want to pursue my dreams, but I understand that whatever happens, God knows. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed my story, and yeah, have a great day.
Thank you so much, Bethany, for sharing what you shared. God does have a plan for us, and it's hard to remember that during this time right now. We oftentimes think of that verse and think of that message during times where it's super easy for us to have that in our minds, right? Kind of like what some of the past testimonies have been about, has been talking about, how do you, when God has stripped things away, when things are hard, when times get tough, how do we know that God has a plan for us? And why is this God's plan for us? It's actually a really hard question especially during this time. And so, but like you said, it's all about God's timing. It's all about actually, in a weird way, taking ourselves out of the equation. What we want to do is we want to say, God's plan plus my plan equals the path that I'm walking. But my plan is not God's plan. Not always. There are beautiful moments where my plan and God's plan end up matching. But if I have the ability to take myself, my own desires, my own selfish gain out of the equation, then I start to realize that my plan should have been God's plan all along, right? And that plan is for us to prosper. And so I want to encourage us all in this time, while we're being quarantined, while all this stuff is happening, when all these negative thoughts tend to just like bounce and around and hit us, I want to encourage us to remember that, one, there is a light on the other side. It might be taking longer than we want it to, and we might be in a place where we're thinking, oh my gosh, this has gone on for a long time. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Two, that this plan that God has for us is good. It is not just simply a plan for us. Like Jeremiah isn't saying there's a plan for us to just simply survive. He's not saying there's a plan simply for us to just move past this. He is saying there is a plan for us to prosper, to thrive, for our future. Man, how hard is it for us to remember that? There is a plan for me, there's a plan for you. We shared that last week, but it's a good reminder every single week. And so what I want you guys to do right now actually is to take something that you can write with. And I want you all to just list something positive that's happened. I'm actually, one of the neatest things that I've loved watching has been, I think it's a YouTube thing, but I've seen it on different social media and Facebook, and I'll put a link in the description below. But John Krasinski, he plays Jim in The Office, and I love that show. But he has been doing this video thing every week called Some Good News, SGN, and I absolutely love those videos. So I'm going to send a link in those descriptions. And if you're just looking for a little bit of positivity, a little bit of just some good things, then check out those videos. And also know that good things are happening here in our community too. We've been serving meals every Thursday night for folks, and they can come through the portico and pick up meals and things like that. And we've also had all of these donations being given. Like we've been able as a church to continue to support organizations like Hunger and Health, like Hospitality House, and so many others where we are able to give monthly donations to those organizations. And there's a lot more things that are happening in our community outside all of that. I've just seen on social media, folks are just trying to spread good vibes and good thoughts. And so I just wrote, just as you're writing things down, just write down a few things that you know are good news happening around you, whether that's in the world or whether that's here in Boone or whether that's in your home. Just something good that is happening. And just to remind us to maybe even write these words down as well. God has a plan for you, a plan to prosper. And you could read that Jeremiah passage over and over again if needed. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. And thank you so much, Bethany, for sharing what you have shared. So I have a few announcements before we wrap things up. I wanted to let you guys know what's kind of happening with our youth programming and things like that during all this. I'm still holding off hope that students will be back May 15th, like it's been said. If that changes, then we might change things too. But I'm still hoping to have like senior banquets, and I'm still hoping to do our end of year kind of celebration, things like that. But again, that's as of right now, who knows if that might change, but I'm holding on to hope with that. In terms of summer, our Asheville mission trip with the middle schoolers has been moved to August. We're now hanging out with them August 2nd through the 8th. And so, yeah, that's been moved in case you wanted to know. Our high school mission trip, Next Step, the organization we were going to Guatemala with, has officially canceled, and they are not doing any summer programming. So I'm looking for alternative things to do with our high school mission trip, whether that's to join in again with Reach like we did last year, or if it's to hop in with YouthWorks or CCC or somebody like that. I don't know, but as soon as I know, I will let you know. And the last thing I wanted to mention is, I know a lot of you guys have been worried about Wilderness Trail. Do not worry. We are going to Wilderness Trail as of right now. And so we are event 3, and event 3 has not been canceled with Wilderness Trail. So we are still going. So sign up for those trips. Sign up for Asheville. Sign up for Wilderness Trail if you still want to be going there. But yeah, that's about all the things I wanted to update you guys on. Well, that's all I have for you guys here tonight. Maybe just one more joke to kind of end things. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. All right. See you later.